I'll be giving out 3 codes. They are first come, first serve throughout this video. So if you happen to get it, please post down below. If you want to know how to redeem, if you're on iOS, you can redeem it through the link in the description. You'll have to input your user ID and the code that's given. If you're on Android, you can do so in the settings and go to account, and you go to redeem code in the bottom corner. Lastly, if you guys want to get 1,000 free soul lessons, all you have to do is go to the description, click that support me profile link, and support me on the Netmarble platform as a creator, in which you guys can get 1,000 free soul lessons without having to input a first come, first serve code. All right, so that being said, let's talk about this new update. So as you guys probably saw, it's been a few days, so you definitely have by now. The new update did release Go Gunhee, and he's actually a really, really awesome hunter. I'm making some changes to him now, but I really do like him. He actually winds up being a jack of all trades type of hunter, and I like him a lot. He seems to make Cha-Hien much better. I just think Cha-Hien needs a buff now. She's a little bit old, a little bit long in the tooth, as she came out over 100 days ago at this point, because she was the global launch character. Shout out to Go Gunhee being the first male hunter released since global launch. Yeah, that's a thing. Anyway, let's go ahead and talk about the guild. So I want to say shout out to everyone that did join my guild. Hashtag Krillin Squad. If you guys are in the guild, make sure you're completing your guild missions and accepting / claiming on a daily basis, and obviously completing your weeklies, so that way we can level up the guild, and so that way you can also get the resources to do the guild exchange shop. So the guild exchange shop is pretty awesome. There are a number of things in here that are really cool, and also things that become available as we level up. You see down here, Battlefield of Chaos keys, Demon Knight Spear fragments, level 3. So we're not cheesing this system. There's some guilds out there that have already cheesed the system, so they are much higher level than us. Also, the buffs here are kind of interesting too. So I've got the Trinity Force active, increases attack, defense, and HP by 300. And then right here, Grim also increases the gold acquisition rate by 5%. Now, I assume that everyone can buy this. Just let me know in the comments. I just assume everyone can buy it. I was wondering if it was something where, like, the leader, in this case me, of the guild buys it and it applies to everybody. I assume everyone buys it individually. That makes more sense. But there are some really fun ones in here that, you know, look at this. Uncontrollable increases damage to guild boss by 10%. Hello? Like, increases damage and power of destruction by 5%. Hello? And then activity funds experience goes up. I don't really care about this, but nobody in my guild should really care about that, because we did have a level lock of 84, 85. So anyway, outside of that, we do also have the guild boss being refreshed, and there's a few other things that are really interesting outside of that. So let's go ahead and take a look at the guild boss. So the guild boss, how did you guys fare with it last time? Post down below. Also, if you're in my alliance, let me know your highest score, and otherwise you can still let me know as well what your highest score was. I saw some people that were around 2 million and stuff. I didn't get a chance to optimize it last second, but the general consensus was it was a team similar to this. The third one I was shuffling. I was going to try something, but then I realized there was 10 minutes left in the season. And also, Sung Jin-woo seems to be best as a support character, so that was kind of more or less the general consensus from a lot of players, to where you were changing Sung Jin-woo's skills and things like that to making him more of a support character, putting on Moon Shadow and the Thetis' Grimoire as well, things that could just help your other hunters do more damage and excel much more. So I want to kind of back out of here, and we are going to talk a little bit more about what I keep hitting the wrong button, what I liked about this update. So like I said, this is now applied here, and this is pretty interesting, I think, as a means to improve your gameplay. So 300 is not like the biggest number or anything like that, right? Does it show it here? It doesn't show, but I'm assuming it's applied, right? I also don't think it impacts your overall power in any capacity. It's just a stat gain. So I was at first wondering if it only applied to the guild, but that wasn't the case when I went over to some gates and I got the extra gold and stuff like that from the gates. So I did see that wasn't really the case here. So at first I was wondering if that was the case. See, I got it right here, guild skill. It's not a huge amount. Like, I'm not really worried about that. But ultimately, I think just it's going to compound on itself as we go up, right? So actually, there's an icon here for game modes. I'd assume that it's just relevant in every piece of content that you would take on. And that's going to help you do more damage and perform better overall. We also do have other things here that went live. Some content related to, like, you know, Battlefield Trials. I think there's one that's been up for a couple of weeks now, or like a week now, that you guys should probably complete. And there also was this other event here that I thought was pretty interesting. So it's been a while since they've run, where is it at? It's been a while since they've run one of these upgrade events. Like, I actually thought they were done with them, to be honest, like, because they hadn't done one of these in a really long time. But this is more of like a revamped version. There's going to be a weapon upgrade one soon, which I'm not really all too happy about, because I don't know. Since I thought they were mostly done doing these, I just have been fusing in my weapons. So I had 3 weapon dupes. I literally fused yesterday. Anyway, they also came back with this new loyalty system, which I think is pretty cool. This new system, by basically getting the milestone points from these events, as you see, I got 85 right there. You then are able to get the rewards, and there's 3 different tiers. So depending on how far you get, there's an extra dupe here for Go, which is pretty awesome. You have 2 weeks to do it. So there are going to be a number of events. You're not going to obviously be able to complete that here. There are going to be a number of these events that you're going to be able to push in. This one's interesting though, because it's not like get any artifact. It's just for getting these specific, the helmet and the body. I'd assume that since it's broken up like this, and because it's going to be a 2-week thing for the loyalty, we're probably going to see the other pieces also represented in this same exact way. But getting the high level pieces is the main way you're going to do this. So level 78 pieces and 75 offer the same amount, so that's pretty good. That just means you need to play harder content, like the workshop for the 78s. 73s are listed here as well, so workshop seems to be probably the most efficient way to do this, but I mean, like, workshop can only be ran so many times, right? So obviously outside of that, on a daily basis, you can run the encore, whichever one. I think it's instance dungeon, whichever one drops those 2 specific pieces. So that's more or less everything in the update. Now let's cycle back to Go Gunhee, and I wanted to talk a little bit more about his usefulness. I did do a separate video on him. By the way, there's a separate dupe for him in there. So if you push pretty hard, that's going to be pretty nice. Since that's the case, I may commit to that so I can get the A3 by summoning for 1 more copy and call it a day. That may be what I do. So I think that Go is a character that's for a little bit later in the future, and I think the light team is interesting with him and Cha and Min. I just think that Cha, as the main DPS, to make this team really pop, she needs to be close to Alicia or Amamiya, which she's not. She's not there. There's a clear delineation. However, I will say her performance has gone up a lot with the introduction of this new setup and the crit bonuses that she can get from the teammates. I also really like him built as a breaker / with greed. However, I did see some stuff that shows him performing extremely well as a damage dealer. I believe it was Yuya. Shout out to Yuya. I believe that was the name. Just stumbled upon a video. I thought it was pretty interesting, so shout out. And they had him built like Warmonger left side. I think works pretty well for him too, because he does scale off defense. You can put that there. And also, I think if you've got the extra dupes in him, you can actually pivot away from greed and be more reliable as a damage dealer, because his break effectiveness goes up with the second dupe. His third dupe adds the break effect to the ultimate almighty break, I might add. I was a little bit critical on that because I think it's cool, like, in nature that we have that. I also just wouldn't like to really throw my ultimate at a boss just to have it break them. Like, I would like to get the damage out of that, you know what I'm saying? So, but nonetheless, getting almighty break on a break, beggars can't be choosers. I'm not mad at that. Also, his weapon is kind of crazy. So when fighting spirit or heavy attack fighting spirit hits, the light damage delta target increases by 5%. This just, it doesn't say his damage, so this should be a debuff on the opponent. It's basically effect similar to what she has, where the enemy is forced to take more light damage. Right here, right? Or water damage, excuse me. In here somewhere. In here somewhere. Is it a passive? Was it a passive? It's in here somewhere, goddammit. Unless I'm just misremembering. Additionally, increases the attack, defense, and defensive water element team members. God damn it, she's got it in here somewhere. I don't want to spend too much time on this. She's got to have so many goddamn buffs. Anyway, yeah, so making the opponent take more elemental damage is really, really good. And like I said, he's offering other things as well to the team, and that's why I said I circle back to Cha. I think that if they were to buff Cha and make her more in line with, this costume, and make her more in line with the other two, I think Cha, she's like, so like, here's the deal. If Alicia and Amamiya are like S tier, Cha's like S-, 8+. Like, it's not a huge gap. But, I mean, it is a pretty big gap, but it's not a huge gap. But if she became equivalent to that, I think the light team would blow some stuff out of the water. I think they'll do that as well, by the way. I don't think they're going to put another DPS to replace Cha. I think that with the support critical bonuses, stuff like that, that this team's applying with Min, with him, especially if he's got Breaker on. If you don't have Breaker, that's fine. But at that point, you probably want to put Breaker. Her branding, her crit bonuses, the way she functions, blah, blah, blah. She is going to be a character, I think, to look out for as well moving forward. So this update, I think, is a nice stepping stone. I said all that to say I think this update is a nice stepping stone to future content as well. So anyway, guys, I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you hit that thumbs up and subscribe. And if you want to see me cover Go Gunhee more in detail, that video should be on the screen right now.